Okay, let's move back to this question here. It was question 10. It was explaining 2 benefits of an eco joist, and I've started to draw it here. The eco joist. This could be plywood in between, so it could be man-made timber in between, and normally a solid timber on the top here. Normally a solid timber here. So solid timber here and here, and a man-made usually here. Okay. And there's your eco joist, and often there's little plates here that may be glued on, hold it together. Very strong, these joists, very strong. Okay, so it's an eco joist, so very long, quite deep, and it could be plywood in between, or just smaller pieces of wood. And it's asking, explain 2 benefits of an eco joist for upper floors. Well, it's less material. Look, got big holes in it, so it's great. Less material. And you can also allow pipes to run through it easily, is used due to the design, I'm going to put. It can be, recycled material can be used. Over natural timbers, which is woods. Okay, so it could be plywood here. Okay, and you can let pipes go through. So pipes could actually come through here, couldn't they? Pipes running through. There's a pipe or wiring, and it will be in the middle, so it can't be in some way compromised by nails coming through from the floorboards. So you'd have the floor across the top. Yeah, floor coming across the top. All right. Okay. Moving on. An inner city industrial site has been abandoned. That means left. And is contaminated. Okay, so it's polluted. A developer is proposing to build, blimey, houses on the site. Right, okay, could be tricky. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of developing the project on this brownfield site. Well, this is a tricky one, and they often should use old land that's been used, which is called brownfield land, not green land, which is new land. But there are tricky points you may have to come across if it's been in somewhere used by an industry. I mean, it could be all sorts of chemicals. Okay, really dangerous ones. So let's put down the points. Disadvantages. And that's pollution in land. So you've got to clean it, or you've got to clear it. One of the two. It could be already damaged the habitats. Damage to habitats. Okay. Can be labour intensive to re-establish. Can be labour. So lots of workmen needed, intensive to re-establish as safe land. Yeah, re-establish. Advantages. Well, what are the advantages? Access already in place. Yeah, access may be already in place. Great, that's a good one. And no need to use fresh land. Yeah, brilliant. No need to use fresh green land. Anything new is known as green land, greenfield sites. Full stop. Services could be already there. Could be gas, electricity, and water already there, or under the road, or next to the road, already in place. they're called services. That's the term. Look up services. In place already. Can be cost effective. Can be cost effective. I'm going to put a question mark. All depends on how polluted it is, what's been used on that land before, and how damaged the land's become. Right, so that's question 11. Bit of research. Why not do some research on greenfield and brownfield sites? May help you get top marks. Okay, next question. This is 12. Discuss why a housing developer might use timber frame construction rather than traditional cavity wall. Now, I'm presuming they mean traditional. It must be brick and block. That's what they mean. Okay. Right. Okay, discuss whether I might use timber frame instead. Timber frame. Okay, well, I think this is fairly good question to answer. Quite an easy one. Fast to construct. Can be less expensive. Can use less skills required. Because you don't need a brick worker and a block worker. You just need a carpenter. Yeah. And often with traditional work, you need a range of skills. Less material, yeah. The weight of a traditional brick and block wall is colossal, and lots of materials are needed. You need the wall ties to go in between the brick and block to hold them together as well. Look up wall ties. Look up wall ties. See what that means. Okay. Less weight. Okay. EIGHT. Less weight, because it's a timber and it's not made from brick and block. Can be made of can be made off-site as a SIP or SIPs, and that stands for structurally insulated panel. Look up that is a definite research point. Research. Okay, research that point. SIPs comes up every single year. Structural insulated panel. Considered sustainable. These are considered sustainable. Okay. Sorry about my handwriting. As long as it's legible. High level of accuracy if a SIP, because it's made off site in a factory, all very controlled environment. Can be finished with render, cedar, cladding and composite. Can be finished, that's on the outside. It's a piece with render. Look up render. It's that mortar finish on the outside of the building, but you get mortars now mixed with polymers, plastics, and they look great. Cedar, that's a type of soft timber that looks great when it's weathered a bit. Cedar and composite board, and that's some of these are cement based. Look at composite boards, very common now, very popular, different colours and things. Not cheap though. Lower embodied energy. Lower embodied energy. Now, that's because brickwork requires a lot of energy to make, and the blocks too. Then you've got to get the mortar, which is using cement powder, and lots of energy in all this production to produce a brick and block wall. wall, and so the amount of energy within it, in the manufacture, is high, and that's called embodied energy. You must look that up, embodied energy. Okay, we're getting there, and I think this is the last question. Question 13. Hope you're enjoying this, guys. A developer is proposing to build a 2-story, 2-level office block. Okay, not very tall, is it? Properties nearby have pitched roofs. Pitched roof, obviously, is a roof that has an angle to it, like that. Pitched. Okay. So there's lots of nice things about pitched roofs. The developer is considering 2 different types of roof. Pitch roof. I knew they were going to say this. It happens every year. Pitch roof with interlocking tiles. That means tiles that actually lock together in some way as you build them. So let me just draw. There's your tiles. And they actually link together in some way on the battens. Sit on battens. And they link together. It's very hard to show, but they actually join. Sorry, but my light's flashing there. Obviously, they're thicker than the tiles. And you can get concrete tile that actually link. A flat roof with built-up felt. Okay, fair enough. Not exactly high tech, you know. So pitch roof. Okay, so we're just going to do the sort of pros and cons, and I'll just bullet point them. You can make this into a decent sentence. There's enough time for you to do that. Low maintenance on pitch roofs. Once the tiles are in place, as long as it's good quality materials, it should last 50, 60, 70 years easily if it's been properly installed. It's attractive. Yeah, it is attractive. I made a mess of that word, haven't I, there? Pitched. It's attractive to the eye. Allows storage inside, yeah. Allows storage inside. You've got a loft space. Loft. Yee. It allows fast rain water run off. Sorry about my writing. That's an R. Run off. Water can run off quickly. Can be converted into a room. Yeah, loft conversion. Yeah, brilliant. Very popular as well. Good use of space. Often they come out like that, don't they? And you've actually got a room here. Sometimes you even see them coming out the other side. Yeah, can look a bit ugly like that, but anyway. Yeah, loft conversion. Expensive over felt. Oh, expensive. Yeah, it is expensive over flat. It is an expensive method, but you know, lasts a long time. Requires more time. This is why it's expensive. More skills to construct. Okay, allows solar panels to be installed. Yeah, I'll explain this. Panels to be installed. I'm going to say more easily. Trouble with flat roof, once you put a hole in it, you've got real problems with trying to keep it waterproof. And so they tend to prefer if it's on a flat pitched roof already, because you can put panels. Let's pretend there's our. You can put panels sticking out, and the water tends to run off. But if you've got a flat roof, and you put a panel on it, often you have to also pitch it to start with, and then you've got problems with the water underneath possibly getting through the roof. Now a lot of tiles now are actually the panel is part of the tile, but you know, there's an advantage. You've got more area, haven't you? You've got more area on a pitch roof than you have on a flat roof. So there's a flat roof, but the same roof with a pitch has more surface area, so that's better for solar panels. Have more of them on there. It's long lasting, that's true. Can be used, oh yeah, you can use straw. I've seen thatched roofs, it's called thatched roofs. You can use composite tiles, you can use concrete tiles, you can use clay tiles, you can use slate tiles, okay, and it goes on. Now flat roofs, well, basically it's the opposite to this, isn't it? Much cheaper, speedy to construct, less skills needed. And because you've got less trades, you've got the felters, and you've got, of course, make these flat structure, and possibly a little bit of lead, but you haven't got the tiler, and there's not much high-tech carpentry that goes in there. And the deck's normally some sort of a laminate or even a chipboard or a plywood, a water-resistant plywood. You know, but there's not much skill needed for that sort of work. Can be used as, oh, that's interesting. This is a good thing. Can be used as a green roof. Now that is a really positive thing. Never thought I'd say that. If the roof is load bearing, if it's load bearing, that means if it's designed to take a load. So you couldn't make a green space on the roof and then realise the roof's going to actually collapse because of the extra load. So think about that. If load bearing, so within the design. Less materials needed, yeah? Less materials needed. I'm rushing a little bit here because I know it's been a long day for you. Generally over less time. Generally seen to be less sustainable. Now I'm going to put a question mark. You can argue that because it could be a green roof, but generally they need more maintenance and the felt needs to be replaced every 20 years. And it's, you know, then it becomes not such a good idea. And this is a lot of problems with the cheaper buildings like schools and hospitals. The maintenance costs as they get older becomes very, very expensive. Lower embodied energy during construction. Yeah, I suppose so. Lower embodied energy during construction. Well, yes, I suppose so. You know, it's quicker to build, less material, so it's lower to start with, but may increase because maintenance can change this, exclamation mark. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that paper. That's the whole thing. I don't think I've put anything on the back of the paper. I think I did a little sketch of I did a little sketch, look, of the raft foundation there. Get to know your foundation types and your roof types, pitched and flat and so forth. And you can get a hipped and a valleyed roof. Okay, and get to know what these pre-made joists are like. Go online. They call them eco joists. And look at polluted land, perhaps greenfield sites and brownfield sites. Yeah, look at straw bales and different types of insulation on buildings, door opening, lintels and thresholds, and the seal I said look up if you can. I think that was a good paper, that. Lots there, isn't there? Look at that, a raft foundation. Yeah, perhaps look at a pile foundation. I think that was in the other paper we looked at again. And sometimes you'll have to draw them, literally like that. So get to know some floor types like the beam and block floor, cavity wall, the strip foundation. You can have a deep strip, just goes deeper, literally. Okay, great. Well, I hope you really enjoyed that, guys. It's great going through this with you, and I'm really hoping that I can help you get a good grade. Okay, good luck, guys.